social, music, talk. So Paul, I noticed you brought a guitar. Why don't you tell us about it and, you know, the experience?
My little travel companion. It's a Martin backpack guitar. It's 30 years old. I took it to Europe with me through 17 countries. It has a little Taylor pickup in there that Wildwood Music and Arcada installed, and you can fit the end of a mailing tube in there, which I left over on the table, to quiet it down on stage and play it real loud. But it's a little out of tune. Anyway, seems appropriate to play a little slide, being October 29th, the day Duane Allman passed, and he of course is the king of the slide. Just a little slide for Duane.
Alex Cosper here at the American River, and my special guest today, Paull E. Rubin.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, great to see you.
You too. Great
Musician
to see you.
who's been around many years out of the Santa Barbara area, and basically you're traveling around the state, going to radio stations. Like you were just at KVMR in Nevada City.
My old bandmate and dear friend Kimberly Bass from my old band, some of you in the area might remember Sugar Bush from the 80s, Humboldt County band. But Kimberly brought me into the radio station up there, and we dropped off one of these.
Sometimes I wanna tell you how much you mean to me. I know, feel as I do, give love so tenderly, make my life so worthwhile, just to see you with a smile anytime. Some days can be a bother, and life is quite short. Still,
I did the artwork. Should be
New album that I listened to all day today.
It's rock, a lot of slide guitar.
And you're the guitarist.
I'm the guitarist on
And
this
the singer.
album. I played everything except the drums were and the production. Really, the producer, Jared Foreman out of Simi Valley, does a lot of movies. I had to wait 9 months to get him to do this one. He does a lot of movie work and music stuff, and he's a great multi-instrumentalist. A CSUN graduate, went through their program, and young up-and-coming producer who is kind of the quarterback, kicks it over the goalpost and makes it radio-worthy, I think. He has an ear on the pulse of what effects to use and how to dial stuff in. So I'm very grateful and blessed to be able to work with Jared. But I played everything myself. I recorded at home in my little apartment near the beach in Isla Vista, Santa Barbara by UCSB. Record all the parts myself at home, and then I put my parts into Jared's hands, and he puts them into his system, Logic, basically, Pro Tools. I use a Roland VS2480 CD for you gear geeks out there that might know what that is. Pretty old-fashioned, but it works really well, and sonically as good as anything, luckily. So I've done a 6-week run, September, October, promoting the Right on CD, getting it to radio stations, between Portland and the Bay Area and South, of course. And
Did you go to Monterey?
not this year. We were in Monterey last year. The aquarium, we spent, of course, an entire day from the minute they opened till
That
they
seems like the ultimate midway point
Gosh, yeah.
between Sacramento and Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I got a good music pal there, Brent Gilbert, who plays, he's just a sponge for music. He plays all kinds of good stuff. And I have a few good friends in Monterey. Hi, all you out there. And Point South, KEBF radio has been a really good friend. Abe Pearlstein, the Tuesday Lunch with Abe program, he's had me on that show maybe half a dozen times now. He played almost the whole new CD during an interview back in early September. And then the gigs have been really fun. I take myself out there on the road and hook up with old pals that I've met throughout my life that are just awesome musicians. In San Francisco, the band The High Waters, Adrian Maestas and Micah Corson make an appearance on the song Good Day to Die. Good Day to Die. Adrian and I collaborated on that song, and so we played Fisherman's Wharf last year.
Let me
with
see your album here.
the Good Day to Die. It's kind of a hard rock tune. Good headbanger.
Anytime, all the time. I listen to that. That's the opening track, and that stuck out to me.
That's for Margaret. That's for my better half, whose birthday is tomorrow.
And the song after that,
Hi, honey.
whatever that's called. How do you say that?
L'chaim just means to life.
Okay.
And it's about two friends who went through transplants this year. Julie Froblum, a sax player who in Humboldt would play with an oxygen tank and the tubes going in, blaring away on a saxophone and killing it.
Wow.
But she got her a double lung transplant down in San Francisco, and she's back on stage. We just saw her up in Eureka and Arcata, and no oxygen tanks necessary. She's back out there. So the first verse of that song is for her. The second verse of that song, L'chaim, is for Steve Ulrich, who's a friend that goes back to childhood, who lives in Hood River, Oregon, and had to have a heart transplant. And I kind of talked him into doing it. He was going to just let it go, and okay, well, that's life, and and I went, Steve, we'd like to keep you around, and you think about it. So the second verse is for Steve. The third verse is sort of science fiction about living forever, where you never die, where they download all the contents of who you are into a bio-robot, basically.
To be alive today, when you're young so you can play, gasping deeply out of breath, to beat the grasping jaws of death.
And
So you're
off
like a doctor of musical medicine.
Wow, I never thought of it that way, but shamanic pursuit.
Well, it sounds like you like to write about autobiographical content.
Yeah, I do make up some stories. but yeah, it's more meaningful, I think, and for anybody that might listen to it,
Becomes more personal.
yeah, I try not to give away the whole thing, although sometimes it's kind of obvious and what the song's about. But I like it when people can relate to it with their own ideas and their own feelings and experience, you know, and take it a different way than I might have even thought. More rockin', but with cerebral. You got to have chops to play it. That's why I use the best musicians I can find. You know, at Humboldt, we did the Bear River Casino with Bill Menke on drums, my old Sugarbush drummer, and Dan Perez on guitar, and you know, we did a lot of fun stuff, a lot of covers, of course. You know, Avenue of the Giants and into Eureka and Arcata, McKinleyville, Trinidad, up through, you know, depending on there, if you split over to Ashland, Medford, and up to Roseburg and Eugene and Portland, which we did this time. But it's nice to take the Oregon coast also. There's so much and so many really hardcore music fans in Northern California and Oregon that it's enough to kind of keep you busy. You don't have to travel the world to find a good audience for, in my case, progressive rock, jam band, slide guitar, not necessarily blues music.
All of California is good for that, right?
Yeah, I would say so. And yeah, I still love LA. I like San Francisco a lot.
Paull, it's been great talking with you today here at the American River.
It's
on
been
SAC
a
TV.
pleasure. It's been an honor, a pleasure, a delight.
Great. And
love
we're looking
this
forward to checking out more of your music in the future. For now, it's Ride On.
Hop in the sea, pop the clutch, feel the heat, but not too much. Take it to the street, just the right touch. Take the corner on two wheels.
Social music.